terms of more specific to a particular relationship, I asked on this one, but I can also sort of read it to you in terms of a career situation. This one is actually the tarot deck. Sorry, just trying to find it. Tarot Magic deck. And I'm not sure who this one is by offhand. Wait 1 second here. Um, Strangely, it doesn't have it on the outside here either. Okay, anyway, I'll go back to that. But just to let you know, what I see here is currently the energy around this particular relationship is one that's under some stress for sure. Nine of Swords is an indicator that you're dealing with this person could not, may not be sleeping. You may not be the one that's sleeping, but there's certainly a lot of anxiety around it. However, on the upside, you are sitting at a Nine of Swords. So this isn't something that's being undergoing a transformation, as is clear with the Death card underneath the Ace of Pentacles. So there's some kind of a new start, and it is a reminder that given the situation, there is a requirement of you to understand that with relationships, all relationships, there is an ebb and a flow, there's conflict, there's change, there's, negotiation, all of those things. There is something here with that same energy. So it's not something that you're going to be able to get around. This is in deep transformation as well. So there is the Nine of Swords. So it's coming to a conclusion. Whatever this situation is, it's almost like something is ready to move to the next level, but certain things have to be integrated yet before you move past this conflict. Because the 3 is certainly an indicator that there is going to be something that's required here to grow. And it might require a certain level of collaboration, or definitely just something in terms of connection with other people here, at least to allow it to transform. But you're still in that final level of having it evolve. So again, we are dealing with swords, so there is definitely a lot of information around the thoughts. Things around communication seems to be a focal point. So that seems to be where things are you're dealing with the majority of the stress. But when we get to the Ace of Pentacles, like I said, I mean, on an emotional level, this is a new start. This is something that does have the potential to start up again in a very small token way, but albeit a very grounded way. So that is actually kind of the best thing. It's not highly emotional and just, based on falling in love with love. This is really something that is kind of a grounded, stable energy. This is a real solidarity kind of connection. This is something where you can actually trust that this is a long haul sort of scenario, but somebody is really in it for the connection over a period of time. So this is still kind of upgrading it to a certain situation, because when you're going through a deep transformation, this level of connection is going to bring about some kind of a positive, possibly financial gain here as well. But there is definitely something here that speaks to something new emerging very soon, because you are at the Nine of Swords. But again, it still is an indicator that, this type of romantic, if it's a romantic partnership and not just a connection that's significant to you, it would benefit you in an emotional as well as material way. But either way, so it kind of goes both ways here. This is also, improving that situation in some way, because this is something that is a new start. It's a new start. And again, like I said, it's an expression of something coming through, possibly in a material way as in a gift. But it definitely speaks to some kind of investment in this person paying off. The Death card is still speaking to, again, that's a pretty big energy, but again, it's just a clarifier. So that relationship is something that you find yourself in growing. So it's growing. It is starting to put the past behind you. That's where this relationship is. And even though it's not fully transferred over, it's also understanding truths about one another, whether this is partnership, or a relationship that's romantic or just a significant connection. But either way, it's going to be creating a whole new life for the two of you, or for this dynamic, either way. Could be Scorpio that's relevant here as well, but I feel like you really are letting everything go here, and able to kind of start on this new path, and it really needs to be let go, because there's a lot of, as far as the way it was previously going, there was just too much conflict, too much verbal heartbreak, that kind of thing. But this kind of change is one that's almost a devastating change because of all these surrounding cards. It's been one that's been really heartbreaking, and it certainly does speak to feeling trapped, feeling like there was no way of getting past it because this change required something like a door closing, like a full door closing, and able to get past the circumstance. So there's a real level of growing here. Um, that's having to take place. But either way, I feel like there is going to be a letting go here, not of the connection necessarily, but releasing something about the way that the relationship was operating before. But enable for that true meaning to sort of find itself, like I said, and finding each other again. It does mean sort of letting the metamorphosis transform both of you. And so you're coming to a space where it's almost like something is reconnecting on a whole new front. So whatever the past was can't really even be brought into this in the same way, because this is a whole new way of dealing with this particular connection, love or otherwise. But either way, this is a pretty strong dynamic to embrace. And I just feel like this passage has been one that's been a really tough road. So anyway, you're cutting free from all of that here, and I don't feel like you're going to be fighting the tide. I feel like you're just going to be going ahead here and, releasing the things that maybe the ideas of how you thought something was going to be. But either way, it is a situation that has some hope, and it certainly does speak to a regeneration. But again, you're not dealing with this person in the same way, because Ace of Pentacles is hopeful. Like I said, even in terms of finances, and again, that seems to be a part of it here as well, but it just feels like, and physical health, because that does represent with the pentacles, but it definitely feels like there's something here about a dream becoming a reality and physical health improving, that kind of thing, is as a bit of a side note. But it's still, again, even in terms of a relationship, if there is finances involved here, it feels like that could be the way in which this connects. You connect with this person. So, like I said, I mean, the Death card is one that is pretty superior here, but again, it's more of a secondary card. So I do feel like the transformation has been pretty tremendous. I don't think that you are able to really look back on a lot of the old memories, because the level of uh, pain was so misunderstood. And this is really a closing of that phase. So it's like, if you saw the situation as something very happy and somebody else did not, I feel like that's where this is the reminder, let it go. You can't try to hang on to what was in the way that it's being transformed, because it's going to cause upheaval. So it's almost like this unexpected situation that arose will ultimately benefit you. But it's like you're starting with a whole new level of cues and connection, and the memories from the past are literally the past. It can't really be brought forward here in this situation. The Nine of Swords, like I said, that is definitely one where there's been a lot of issues around dealing with this person or this connection, dealing with it in a really stressful, anxietied way. So whether somebody else was dealing with a lot of depression or yourself, but there's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of worry that goes with this card, and a lot of overwhelm. So this could also be where you or another person has been isolating themselves, but there's definitely a feeling of helplessness, because it is also very close to the Three of Swords. So I feel like this situation really can't transform until a lot of these energies or this emotion is dealt with. Because like I said, the Three of Swords is also strong disappointment, big sadness. It's also heartbreak. It is depression. It's emotional hardship. It's all of those things. So it's about some kind of emotional trauma that you or another person has really undergone. And until that sort of heals, and you just have to wait it out until that period of growth evolves you. But either way, there is some kind of a new start, again, with that Ace of Pentacles. So I would say just hold out a little bit longer, because, you are at the 9 stage. So there is still something. And again, 9, sometimes people can stay on that 9 for quite some time. Everybody's on a different, path, so that you can't really time the put a time frame on it, but I mean, they are in that last period of that cycle. So I do feel like whatever this next stage is, I do feel like it's going to be very positive with a lot of potential here. And again, it's more of an opportunity that's coming in here in terms of, even after hardship in terms of a business relationship, I feel like there's a new opportunity. You're really connecting here with something that's monetary. So even on a career path, this would operate as a new job. It's coming in here after a time of a job loss, I would say, for others. But there is something positive that's coming in either way with the Ace of Pentacles. Keep moving forward.